75% of businesses are family owned, but less than a third are successfully transitioned from the first generation to the second. Listen up today and you'll find out how to succeed. Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors like Bill Circle to help business owners enjoy more freedom, grow their companies faster, and retire someday on their own terms. Well, today I'm welcoming back Bill Circle. He's with Sinago in Macomb, Illinois. He has a master's degree in clinical psychology from Western Illinois University. Bill is a licensed clinical counselor, an executive coach, and a family business consultant in the exit planning process. Welcome back, Bill, today to talk about tension in family businesses. We're going to talk about family unity, how to treat business active versus non-business active kids in a business, and then also business unity. So let's get started and talk about family unity. How does family unity impact a business transition?
Okay, there's a thing we call dual relationships, and that is the same people have relationships in multiple ways. That is very common in this situation. You have a family dynamic, so our relationship's the same in the families as it is in the business. Because we're the same individuals, we carry that dynamic into the business. So however the relationships are in the family, they're also going to show up in the same way in the business.
Okay. So they're wearing two hats.
They're wearing two hats.
But do they need to look the same, I guess?
Mostly they do look the same.
Yeah, okay.
It's very difficult to have different kinds of relationships by switching those.
Okay.
So the dynamics that are in the family generally play out the same in the business.
Okay, good. And a very common situation today are businesses that are family owned, where one child, one heir is working in the business, and maybe another child or more than one child is working outside the business, maybe in another profession, had no interest in coming back to the business. But then when time comes to transfer the business to the next generation, this question comes up of fairness versus equality and how to deal with those different relationships and levels of involvement. So how do you go about working with the family to resolve that?
To build unity in the business, you have to start in the family. So you have to be able to treat the parents have to be able to treat each child with fairness and equality in the family, or it's not going to happen in the business. One of the best ways to do that is to identify and build on each child's strengths, their aptitudes and abilities, identify their goals and their needs, and you focus on each individual child. And even though those all may be different, you treat them with the same respect and the same pursuance that you would with each other. You treat them all the same that way.
Okay, good. I'm sure that doesn't always go that smoothly.
Quite often not.
And sometimes there's probably some jealousy.
I just had a scenario not too long ago where there was a father and 3 children. The oldest son was involved in the business. He was kind of the father's favorite. The middle one was a daughter, and she was just absent. She was out of the picture, had moved away. The youngest son wanted to be a part of the business and tried, but he had an addiction problem. They come to me at the time when the father was ready to get out of the business. And so they had not established any unity. There was a lot of strife, a lot of jealousy, a lot of competition among the children. And the daughter being absent, she said, I want nothing to do with this, and she disappeared. They had very little contact with her. And so it made it extremely difficult to navigate this. And they actually ended up selling the business to an outside person because they could not resolve these conflicts that already existed.
Okay. So we've talked about family unity. We've talked about how lack of family unity can affect the transition of a business. So let's talk now about how do we actually build unity in that business so we don't have to take a exit path that we really don't want to.
The key is you have to build the unity while you're building the business. If you wait until the business is built and then try to establish the unity at the exit time, it's not going to succeed. So you have to do that throughout building the business. Okay. A couple of the keys are to identify what the goals and needs of each child is. They're all going to have financial needs. If they're a part of the business, it's going to be a little bit different than if they're not a part of the business. If they're not a part of the business, they're more concerned about their inheritance, what's going to happen after the business, after it's over. If they're a part of it, they have some other concerns about their time and being able to spend time with their family, recreation. So they have a little bit different needs. And so it's able to establish that unity, you have to recognize those. And everybody has to be working towards fulfilling those needs. Okay. It's also important for people who are in the business to have them plugged in the right place. And if someone is kind of an introvert and loves numbers, you're not going to put them out in a sales position. They're going to be back dealing with the financial part. So putting the right person in the right place, giving them the authority along with responsibility. And those are two different things. Authority is the ability to make a decision. Responsibility is carrying out the decision. There are scenarios where people will have the responsibility, but they don't have the authority. And so then it's a real struggle. They can't make the decisions. It's horribly inefficient. And then there's all kind of confusion. So when you get the right people in the right place, give them the authority they need to carry out their responsibilities.
Okay, good. So let's just backtrack a little bit and sum this up. The relationship between family unity, children that are active in business and aren't, and business unity. How do you tie all three of those things together?
The dynamics of the family are going to play out in the business. So whatever the family unity is, that's what the business unity is going to be. In order to establish unity in the family first, you identify and build up on each one's strengths. Then you carry that over into the business and do the same there as you're building the business.
Okay, makes a lot of sense, putting someone in a spot in the business that where they're most qualified and will be the happiest and can get along and communicate with everyone else and accomplish your goals. Okay.
And when everybody's doing that, you should have some good unity.
Okay, great. Okay, well, good job. We appreciate you joining us today. If you want more information about Bill, you can visit our website, check out the show notes. All of his contact information will be there at the bottom of this episode. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those as well. And we thank you again for joining us and look forward to seeing you next time.